So guys, there was another church shooting yesterday in Lexington, Kentucky, and a gunman, he killed hurt a police officer, a state trooper, and then went to a Baptist church in Lexington, and he had some connection with the church. There's still details coming out, so I don't know all the details yet. But basically, he knew some people there and proceeded to the church and killed 2 women and hurt some others. And just a couple weeks ago, there was another church shooting up in Wayne, Michigan. And in that situation, what's interesting is that this gunman, he had a vehicle and tried to, ram the church or something. And then he got out, he started shooting. But in that situation, there was a security team, there was a deacon and some people that were identified as church members that were carrying weapons. And they took the guy down. Because in both situations, it took some time for the police to get to the church, to those churches. And this is my issue when I think about, whether it's a church or some other kind of place. And, there's not the time response of police to get there before a gunman can unload a lot of rounds into innocent people. So my recommendation, and this is something we do at our church, is that we have personnel. I don't know how big our team is, maybe 10, 12. I don't know how many guys that they're on a rotation every week that are armed, they're trained. We also have a police officer, just something different also maybe, but we have a police officer outside our church every Sunday too. So that's a big deterrent in the parking lot. If a perpetrator or someone was to show up and start shooting at everybody, well, that certainly helps deter the assailant. But in addition to that, if you care about your church, if you care about the other people in your church, then I think it is wise to have some people that are identified and on a schedule and are trained. I mean, when I say trained, I mean not only personally trained, like they can actually shoot a firearm, they're comfortable handling a weapon, all that stuff, but they're trained together and they have thought through the scenarios of what it might look like if a situation happened where a gunman came into your church. So these are things I'm thinking about. I'm a pastor, and so I'm thinking about these things. But more and more we're hearing about these shootings at churches. And for whether it's a church, a mall, or some other place that is like gun free. Now, our church, we don't post any gun free signs at our church. We're in Tennessee, so we're okay with weapons. But we do want people to be trained, and that's the big thing, because we definitely don't want a free-for-all. So if a gunman comes into a church and starts shooting, or something, we don't want like half the church that's carrying, so beware if you're coming to our church, but half the church that's carrying to just start shooting randomly or whatever. We want there to be a plan in place. So if you don't, it's starting to rain right now. If you guys don't have a plan in place for something like that, then can I recommend that to you? Really, the mentality is what we term sheepdog, a sheepdog mentality. Now, we've got 2 Great Pyrenees. They're livestock guardians. Their job is to guard the livestock. We don't have sheep, but we've got goats, we've got chickens, other things. And so their job is to guard and protect those other animals. In the same way, I think guys should have a sheepdog mentality. So people that are innocent, but also vulnerable. And so against those you might call wolves that are not innocent, they're bad and they're dangerous. And so obviously the assailant, the perpetrator, always has the upper hand because they're coming in ready to go, and it's on people that are armed and trained to respond to that kind of threat to take them down. So, I think with all these shootings here, I think it's something that all of us should think about. And again, you may not be a person of faith. That's fine. But maybe you are in a place where you're going to public areas that, you have a lot of innocent, vulnerable people, and you still have to be that sheepdog. You still have to be a person that stands in the gap. If there is a threat, you're prepared to deal with it, which means that you're carrying, which means too that you have training. I always recommend training over buying fancy guns and gear. I like fancy guns and gear for sure, but having that level of training where if a threat poses itself somewhere to the vulnerable, the innocent and vulnerable, well, you're ready to take care of that threat. So, guys, leave a comment down below if you've thought about this. Maybe your church has some good ideas. Like I said, in our church, we have a police officer outside, showing the uniform, and that's really, really helpful, I think. But also inside the church, and we also have one guy outside as well, like another guy, usually a deacon outside that's armed and trained. But also inside the church, we want to make sure that if something does go down, that they're in specific positions in the church to handle that threat. It's knowing, are there unlocked doors around your church? Are there ways and access that people can get in? And this is broader than that too. I mean, watching out for people that you don't know, and children. Are they going to the restroom by themselves and there's other people you don't know there? I mean, just kind of being aware, the situational awareness. Because again, we want to be protectors for others. So let me know your thoughts on this. Maybe, I don't know, again, if you're a person of faith and you have a church, do you have a recommendation on training? Do you have a protocol that you use? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. We have sent our team to training, but we are always trying to improve. So we've not arrived, we're not perfect, but we would like to improve in any way we can. So your feedback would be really, really helpful for us. But guys, I hope you're doing well. And it is sad, especially if you are a conservative, Christian, and you believe the Bible, that kind of thing, then you're going to be more and more attacked. You're going to be having greater opposition in our culture that seems to be more and more hostile to the Bible and biblical truth and Jesus even. And so if you have awareness of that cultural change that is against Christ, against the truth of the Bible, well, this is a great time to think about, well, what can we do to mitigate those risks and to remove the potential threats that if they come into our church, start shooting around. So anyway, guys, thank you for your support for us, for our channel. Please leave a like as well if you are so kind, and we will see you on the next video.